fundamental system is to truly know our own will and our deepest desire. Now, our will is a part of our very being. Remember that our being inherently exists in the continuous flow of time, and our desire is a significant part of our state of being, or our tangible existence in the third dimension, our physical existence. When I genuinely desire something, I will profoundly feel it within my body. For example, I might desire to eat, all physiological needs are basic desires, right? Eating, keeping warm from the cold, sexual needs, food needs, all those things where I can feel a physical need, I will desire them. And desire is a very important structure because it keeps our physical body alive, our soul, right? We need something has to drive us to feed ourselves, to stay alive and to take care of our physical body. Our desire is what will take care of that. Our will is not something we feel in our body, but rather things that we long for. When we want something for ourselves in our lives, for example, exercising, right? Maybe I have the idea that I want to exercise and I don't feel any physical problem that makes me say, oh, I need to exercise. It's not a desire, it's part of my will. Now, what we're aiming for here is for willpower and desire to work together. For example, the case of exercise is a good example where willpower and desire can be at odds because my will tells me I'm going to exercise now. I'll start tomorrow. But the next day I wake up and my desire or my body says, no, why? It's better if you just lie down on the couch, right? I don't want to like this. So my inner will says quite clearly, I truly want to exercise, but my immediate desire says very strongly, don't exercise at all. So if we can learn to consciously and thoughtfully see the significant difference between our determined will and our fleeting desire, then we can effectively manifest our deepest desire into reality. We can say, okay, my desire wants this, but if we let desire control our actions, we will always feel unsatisfied. We'll say, why can I never do this? I set this goal for myself, but I always leave it halfway, or at the last minute I never show up. It's because we always give in to desire, right? Desire comes along, and what our body and our physical self tell us in that moment is stronger than what we had planned. And that's causing us to fill our lives with frustrations and dissatisfaction, isn't it? So it's very important to know how to separate desire from willpower. It's not about eliminating desire either. Desire is very important. Knowing our desires allows us to express them. Once we stop lying to ourselves and say, okay, what is it that I want? First, we have to learn to know our will, to see ourselves without fear, to accept ourselves completely as we are, to not tell ourselves any lies, and to ask, what do you want as a person? Not what your parents told you, not what your friends will praise you for, none of that. What is it that I really want? That is going to be my will. By knowing my will, I can express it. I also have to know my desire, right? I have to accept what things I like in order to channel them. A lot of people have many problems because they believe that desire or the ego or our physical needs should be set aside in order to embrace all the metaphysical needs and will and to have a spiritual life. But in reality, this is a matter of balance. We can't become polarized, right? To be able to have a metaphysical life in order, we have to enjoy our physical life, enjoy living in our body, doing what we want to do. And once we know our desire, we can channel it without it getting in the way of our will. And now we're going to talk about how this desire is often connected to emotion. Just as I can physically feel the undeniable urge to eat, that I absolutely need to consume something. When people genuinely think about how they would truly love to acquire a brand new house, a shiny new car, a powerful new computer, or even a luxurious high-end item in actual reality, that's not usually an act of pure conscious will either. Many times that's a desire. And we have to see that we feel good physically, not only when we take a bite of something delicious. We feel good physically when we think about things. And this is something very important, because simply contemplating an idea can make us feel good or bad. But the thing is, when I contemplate that idea of having my car, having my house, and when I think about that idea, I feel good just by thinking about it. And what I'm looking for is that when I have those things, I'm going to feel really good, and it's going to feel good physically, right? So that's going to be a desire. My emotions are going to make me want many things, but here's something fundamental. Emotions are tools. Emotions move our electromagnetic system. Our emotions are there so that we can have access to our memories. Like any valuable tool, we should use them wisely and truly enjoy them. I need to learn to use my emotions coherently as tools. If something is hurting me emotionally, if an idea isn't doing me any good, if I don't feel comfortable with something that happened to me, or with something someone said to me, or with a situation in my life, and thinking about it makes me feel bad, then coherently I will decide not to put emotions into that, because all I'm doing is recording all that negativity in my life. So if I don't put emotions into it, I stop recording it. It's not that I forget it or that I don't accept it or deny it. I'm simply going to decide, you know what? Since my emotion is such a useful tool, it's not in my best interest to use it on this. It's better for me to put my emotions into something else. Over time and with observation, each person learns not to lose emotional energy, to use emotion coherently. Since they're such a good tool, we should use them, have fun, enjoy our emotions, experience them, not repress them. We have to let them be, right? We have to let them live. But we also have to learn when they're not doing us any good, to know how to use them. Why? Because if we don't use emotion as a tool, then emotion ends up controlling us. And if emotion controls us, then we become that emotion. You're no longer yourself. In fact, we call it a false personality when you adopt one, because an emotion is controlling you. If I'm dominated by anger or even by happiness, I won't act according to my own will. It's not going to be me who's thinking, it'll be the emotion that's steering and manipulating my thoughts to get what it wants. So emotion should be consistent and should serve as a tool.